Let's call the meeting to order. Roll
Ready on the
call.
right, ready on the left.
Helsley.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Herman. Kaufman.
Here.
Newhouse.
Here.
Yarko.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Okay, do we have any, we do not have any public hearings or presentations tonight. Under public comments, do we have any public comments? Hearing none. Request for removal of items from the consent agenda by the public. The consent agenda is the September 17th regular meeting minutes, approval of the bills. There's a correction on the agenda. It's resolution 16-12, not 14-12. There's a resolution authorizing natural gas management agreement with Utility Gas Management. This is the gas management firm that we've used this last year, and we want to extend the time period. They've done a very good job. Resolution number 15-12, a resolution authorized funding for FAI Route I-74-I-155 for $13,000. This relates to one of Joe's spotlight deals that changes the stop signs when the fire truck goes through. And so this is part of the IDOT work, but technically it's on, we want it, so we're paying for that. That's the going rate.
The new signals that are put
On the
North
news.
Morton.
Okay, under other business, acceptance of bids for water softening salt from Morton Salt Incorporated at $77.05 per ton delivered. We use between 1,800 and 2,200 tons a year. Approval of joint agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation for the intersection. I just did that one with Ashland. And then acceptance closure of Main Street from Jackson to Pershing Street for the Morton Community Foundation Tree of Dreams lighting on November 9th, 2012. Be sure to put November 9th, 2012 on your calendar. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to place an item down under action item 8, consideration of items removed from the consent agenda? Not hearing anything from Larry. Is there anyone else on the board who would like to move an item down? May I have a motion?
Move approval, Your Honor.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Helsley.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
Okay, tonight I do not have anything written on the agenda, but I do have a couple of things that I have added since then as far as discussion. I want to recognize Mr. Laudermilk and all of his people and the hard work that was done on Washington Street. It was completed, and I know that was a very difficult project for you and your people, and it really looks nice. And as part of that, Operators looks like that they are doing some remodeling up there, and there's this beautiful sign, 1905, the corporation started. And so we find many times when we do re-streets like that the people along the streets do a little extra work on their houses and businesses and stuff, and it's really looking fine on Washington. So thank you, Mr. Lederno. Second thing is, it goes along with the last meeting or the meeting before that on the gas stations. All of you are now aware how thrilled I am about gas stations, but we do have a new gas station in the old Casey's store, Marathon Station, on North Morton and Avenue in Lakeland. Over the weekend, at least, the prices were something lower than most other places in town, and so you may want to drive by and look at the place. The manager is a very nice lady. With that, Mr. Clerk, do you have anything?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Madam Treasurer.
First of all, I just wanted to mention that this week our new website will probably be going live within the next couple of days. Jeff Bedecker worked very hard on this to get this up and running. We will continuously improve upon it, and at the next meeting we'll present a little bit more about it, but I just wanted to let everybody know that that will be going live, so you should go to www.morton-il.gov to take a look at it, so. And then I have my interfund transfers. And tonight I'm asking for $212,000 from the general fund and $5,000 from the water and wastewater depreciation fund to the capital projects fund.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarkle.
Yes.
Helsley.
Yes.
Motion passed. I asked about Madam Treasurer, but the Madam Comptroller part of this, she mentioned Jeff's work on this thing, but I also know that our Treasurer/Controller spent many hours on it also, and will be working even more so in the future, making sure that it's up to date. So, thank you. Chief,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Counselor,
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Chief,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Loudermilk?
I had one item that wasn't on here. I just want to mention, you mentioned Washington Street, but another project that I'm very happy about completing was the Route 150 lift station was completed. And I appreciate you guys approving us to do this work. With the upgrade, we no longer have to have employees service these pumps while entering a 30-foot deep confined space. And we actually added a building around all the electrical components, so, you know, with all the high voltage there, they can work on stuff from inside and not have to work out in the rain and snow. So I'm very happy about getting my guys out of the situation they were in before. So thank you for letting us complete this project. And that's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Spangler?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Ooh, we're on the trustees already. Mr. Belsley?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Hare?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mrs. Herman?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
I still have one individual keeps telling me that he's not, that his electric bill hasn't changed, but I don't think he calls our comptroller, so I'll keep working on that one. trying to
Please
get
have
that.
him call her or me, and
All right.
we'll look into it.
Mr. Kaufman, your favorite subject.
Yeah, just one item tonight. It's the annual yard waste fall program. I think this will be the 15th year we've done it. And it'll be again out on 4th Street facility. And the dates will be October 22nd through November 11th. And then we'll close down for a week or close down for 3 days to clean up. And then it'll be open from November 14th to December 2nd. So October 22nd through November 11th, and then opened again November 14th to December 2nd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, we've had several requests that maybe we could plan it better, get a better timing when the leaves are actually coming down. We try, but it's very hard, and it's not only scheduling this with the people that take care of the end product, but we have to have our people loading it, cleaning it, piling it. So it's not just as easy as just picking a week. So there's a lot that the city employees have to schedule and be available for. So you might just collect it, pile it, and drop it off that week. It's just hard to move those dates. We have to schedule things around our employees to get the rest of what we need done in the community. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Newhouse?
2 items tonight, Your Honor. Let me do them in reverse order. There is in your packet a review of Tazewell County zoning case. Some of this is related to terminology, and some of it is related to the permissibility of raising fowl, chickens, in certain zoning that might be considered residential. And the one point I guess I would make is that, well, none of these have any impact on Morton in particular. With respect to those people who have made inquiries, the zoning in question for the county in which livestock might be permitted is not analogous to residential zoning in Morton. It is closer to our S zoning or maybe even agricultural use. So there's not a precedent there for village ordinance. The bigger issue tonight has to do with a proposal to change the ordinance that requires building lots, residential building lots, with 75-foot frontage. That is the current minimum. And the builder, you have in your packets, the presentation made by this builder, Armstrong, at Fieldstone, has made a proposal that would increase the flexibility for the Armstrong organization and other builders and developers like Armstrong to appeal to a different market. And that market is young families who are looking for homes in pretty much the $250,000 to say $400,000 price range, but would sacrifice or would like to sacrifice a little side yard space for deeper backyards. The proposal has merit and it has risk. And at the present time, the Plan Commission has continued the hearing until next month. Mr. Spangler, Chairman of the Plan Commission, Mr. Davies, and probably Mr. Loudermilk will be looking at some of the possibilities. But I would encourage the trustees to review the presentation packet and think about this proposed change, because it has the potential to be very significant for Morton. It would have a lot of what makes Morton Morton is the kind of lot size and neighborhood layout that we have now. And without considering for the moment whether this would have an adverse effect or a beneficial effect, it would certainly be a change, and depending on what limitations we might be able to impose to assure kind of housing that's consistent in quality with the rest of Morton, it could lead to some fairly fundamental changes in what residential neighborhoods look like in Morton. So it deserves a lot of thought, a lot of careful consideration, and I would just like everyone to be aware of it, think about it. If you're available, attend the Plan Commission hearings. I'm hoping that residents who have an interest in it or an opinion will voice them by email or by calling the trustees or coming to the Plan Commission meeting. But it deserves a broad hearing. Again, it has some benefits or some things about it that are very attractive, but there are also some risks. So I ask everybody to kind of give it a very careful thought. And that's my matter of the evening.
Thank you. I've talked to Mr. Newhouse about this issue, a few of my thoughts. One of them, if we do something like this of a 65, and there's some discussion even of a 55 lot front footage, that we need to add something in the ordinances about an architectural difference in the house itself on that block, so that we're not duplicating the same house over and over and having basically a track house look. That would go more along an issue that really isn't up here tonight, but some discussions that he and I have had about 55-foot lot, front lot lines. Want to make sure that we don't look like a track housing area. Another thing that I've suggested to consideration for him and the Plan Commission is that along I-74 and I-55 and along the power lines, that we might want to consider 55 or 65-foot front lot lines to decrease the cost of those lots, to entice people to build houses close to those areas, because we all know those are difficult for developers to sell. They're very difficult to sell. I've talked to Mr. Davies about consideration of our development fees that we have now, that in proximity of the power lines. And I would also suggest in I-74 and I-55 that we may want to consider sometime in the future that we waive the development fees so many feet from the power lines. We had these discussions a couple of years ago with a landowner and a possible developer when it was when it related to annexation fees. We've got to figure out ways to get the lot prices down because these two areas are obstacles for residential growth. So I want you to be thinking about those. The other thing is if we go with a 55 or 65 foot lot, we may want to consider something on the line of a percentage of lots on a street or in a development that can be that number. I personally don't have a problem with the 65-foot lot on an occasional basis, but I think that, like Mr. Newhouse said, we're kind of known for this, and if I remember right reading the materials, I think Metamora has slightly wider lot lines than we do. Every other community listed has less, so we need to be cognizant of that. And if I remember right, 6 years ago, our comprehensive plan suggested we needed affordable housing in this community. And so this might be one way that we can work on that a little bit, realizing that it's not going to be a significant decrease in lot prices, but it could be some. We have seen that on South Main in, I think, the Tuscany Village. So these are some of the ideas that I have passed on to Mr. Newhouse that I wanted you to be aware of. Just some thoughts. But thank you.
As a point of clarification, I believe in the Armstrong plan, we're looking at a mix of lot sizes.
Right.
None less than 65 feet. The issue is not so much what might be done in Fieldstone by the Armstrong builders. They've got a successful model.
Right.
The issue is how you create an ordinance that allows what might be an attractive community in one area without opening the doors for, without incurring a loss of control, for lack of a better term, of the quality of housing that people expect in other areas. And that has some legal ramifications, and those are some of the things that have us concerned.
I think a couple of trustees have gone to Bloomington, haven't they, and viewed
Several of us have been to Bloomington. Mr. Hare and I accompanied Mr. Loudermilk and Mr. Spangler on an inspection visit to Peoria for similar housing not long ago when this question first came up. And as I say, it can be done in an attractive way. The issue is how the extent to which you open the door with an ordinance for other kinds of development.
I want to thank you on the hard work on this because I know this is not going to be an easy decision for you or the Plan Commission.
I have a lot of confidence in the Plan Commissioners.
All right, so you have both of yours taken care of. And Mrs. Yarko.
Just one item. It's time for the semi-annual hydrant flushing that will start this Sunday, October 7th, and run for about 3 weeks. The schedule is on Channel 22, and people may notice a drop in water pressure or maybe some discoloration, but that should go away. That's it.
Thank you. We're going to have a closed session tonight. 4 possible items or 4 items on the closed session. First being discussing the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act. Second is for the purpose of discussing the sale of property owned by the public body pursuant to 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act. Third one is discussing collective negotiation matters between the body, public body and its employees or the representatives or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees pursuant to Section 2C2. And the last is purpose for discussing possible litigation pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
One of these days, you're not going to do this, are you? I can tell. It's getting harder to get. Let's do a roll call.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Newhouse.
Yes.
Yarko.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
And we're not going to have any action afterwards. Thank you.